Okay, it's about time that I actually did a brand new video for Niche Navigator. As you can see, we actually now have access to DeepSeek. Doesn't cost you a thing. It's actually pretty good. I've used both DeepSeek as well as ChatGPT. So the first thing you're going to do, of course, which you can't see, is you're just going to copy all of Niche Navigator's prompts, which you will have access to because I will leave a link once again in this YouTube here in the discussion and whatnot, so you can find it. You're just going to copy the whole thing, paste it in, press enter, and we're just going to let it do its thing while it's thinking. What you can also do is go to ChatGPT and do the same thing. Just copy and paste it straight in there. Let it do its thing. We'll come back to DeepSeek. DeepSeek might take a few minutes, as you can see, on its doing the whole thinking thing. And let's see here. There we go. And say, okay, I need to step into the role. Yeah, this is just going to tell you how the whole thinking process is going. It's kind of interesting to read to see how it's processing the role of niche navigator. So here we go. Step one, discover your passion. So what we're going to do, and once it's finished doing, all of its thing here, step three, persona crafting. Um, a buyer persona, a negative persona. It's actually kind of nice that it does this. It was never originally programmed to do a buyer and negative persona. Basically, the buyer persona is your ideal customer. The negative is the person that you do not want anything to do with your brand at all. I don't care what it is. As an example, I am a fat 49-year-old hairy white man. You do not want me to be looking at your website that sells evening gowns. Nobody wants to see me in a backless, strapless thing. Yeah, trust me. So that's a good idea to have both a buyer and a negative persona just so that you have an idea of who you are trying to reach. So our what we're going to just do is we're just going to go ahead and go niche. Give me 10 let's go 10 high potential drop shipping niches for 2025, please. Always be nice. Always be nice to the AI. And then what we're going to do, as you can see, this is now ChatGPT. Let me make sure that you can actually that you are all seeing ChatGPT. Yeah, yes, you are. Okay. Now, welcome, seeker of profitable passion. So let's just go asking the same thing. We're just going to go niche. Show me. Actually, let's just copy and paste this whole thing right here. Control C and boom. Fast and easy. Now you can use Gemini, of course, and my older video shows you how to use it in Gemini. It's the same process. Um, it's a good idea actually to use all three when you're first doing your research on niches. This way, you're going to get overlapping information, and you're going to be able to kind of quantify where you really want to look at. So let's see here. ChatGPT niche navigator is saying smart home and eco-friendly gadgets, health and wellness. The health and wellness tech will always be kind of a go-to for a lot of people. Me personally, I tend to avoid the health niche, mostly because a lot of the products that are out there are basically quackery. And anything that is consumable, I avoid because it's a good chance of getting your ass sued. So why take the chance? Now, the only time I will actually say that consumables are really a good idea if and only if you can find a supplier that is in the country that you are actually selling to and you know them very well. You actually talk with them, you look to see what's in say you want to go into vitamins, you look to see what they're actually shipping. The reason why I recommend finding a supplier in the country or countries that you want to sell to is because they're going to understand the regulations and rules of that country. Because let's face it, if you go to say China to a factory that's doing vitamins, they're not going to know what you're going to need label wise for the United States or the UK. And on top of that, you're not going to know what's actually in that vitamin. For all you know, it could be just frozen cat pieces. that they're selling as vitamin B or vitamin D. You don't know. So again, it's another reason why I say consumables, unless you know the supplier and unless that supplier is in the country that you are actually selling to, don't bother with it. Okay, pet tech and accessories. Pet owners are great spenders, which the pet industry is always a very good one to go into. AI-powered educational toys. That's relatively new, but STEM toys are good. Actually, are starting to pick up. Home fitness and recovery gear. Let's see here. The post-pandemic fitness trend is still continues. Smart jump ropes. Why does a jump rope have to be smart? It's a freaking jump rope. EMC muscle stimulators, I don't think those actually work. I think that's a bunch of crap. Acupressure mats, maybe. And of course, weightlifting gear. Niche fashion, yeah, yeah. Tech wear. Y2K is within the niche when it comes to fashion is really starting to come back, and it's making me feel old, folks. I'm 49 years old. All this so-called retro stuff, I am not retro, damn it, and I am not vintage, damn it. I grew up with. I actually started some of these trends. I was part of these freaking trends. I am not vintage. Hyper niche fashion trends are thriving, including tech wear, Y2K. Be careful about the hyper niche stuff because, again, it can kind of collapse on itself rather quickly. It's another reason why I say don't chase fads. Minimalist and smart travel accessories, AI production productivity tools, bleh, yep. Luxury and personalized gifts. That one would be a little harder to get into. The personalized gifts, again, you have thing that falls under print on demand, and there are a few suppliers that do, like the custom jewelry and whatnot. Read the reviews, go online, do your research, do your homework, folks. And DIY skincare devices. Yeah, again, bunch of quackery on this one. So let's see what DeepSeek says. Okay, let's go scroll all the way back up to the top. Here we go. Okay, here are the top engaging emerging niches. AI-powered personalized wellness tech. Again, at home DNA. See, this is what I like. It kind of gives you um, ideas to a certain extent. I don't know of any smart mirrors with real-time posture skin health feedback. That would be an interesting one if you could find it. Sustainable pet products. Again, pet owners, no matter if you go to ChatGPT, Gemini, or DeepSeek, they're always going to suggest the pet niche. It is a good niche to get into as well. Remote work. Now, see, this one's a new one that I've actually not have seen. Let's see here. Hybrid work persists, fueling demand for specialized ergonomic tools, portable laptop stands with built-in blue light filters. That the blue light filter actually helps. It really does work. One reason why you won't see me personally in any of my videos is because I have the blue light filters in my actual glasses, and the light reflects off of it, and it looks kind of weird. But without that blue light filter, I have actually noticed that I do get headaches from eye strain. These really actually help. Voice controlled desk, okay for AHDD workers. Yeah, somehow I don't think that's going to work, folks. Um, I know a few people that have the tism. I might have a little bit of a tism, and we would get so distracted with a voice controlled desk organizer. I don't think I would get anything organized. Might be one you might want to avoid. Climate adaptive apparel. Okay, extreme weather drives demand for functional adaptive clothes, which is true. Self-cooling shirts with phasing change material. Flood resistant shoes with quick dry technology. See, some of these things that DeepSeek are coming up with, I don't think are going to be real products. You can do a hunt on like AliExpress for them, but now the self-heating shirts, I've actually seen vests and jackets with that. Don't know how well they work. See here, mental health micro tools, pocket size stress relief. These are basically um, stress toys. AI powered journal apps. This is actually getting in, this right here would be getting into the digital marketing. Not, sorry, digital marketing, but digital products. And digital products are still hot. If you're going to do it, I honestly suggest that you start with Etsy. I hate saying this because I am such a fanboy of Shopify, but Shopify is not really geared towards digital products. So go with Etsy, go with WordPress if you're good at designing websites and whatnot. I don't know about any of the other ones, but WordPress, it's a pain in the butt, but it is really good for digital products. Etsy has its own built-in customers, so do some research there. You can even ask Niche on that. Let's see here. We got space effective urban gardening. Yes, that's actually a pretty decent one. Vertical, yep. The hydroponic kits are actually starting to take off. Smart planters, I think I've seen like one or two of those. Wouldn't go with that, but there are a lot of urban plant stuff, and a lot of inner city people want plants. They want to be able to grow their own herbs and gardens. You could go into hydroponics. There's all sorts of things that you could go into on that one. Privacy focused tech. Let's see here. Signal jamming phone cases. That one would be a stupid idea because you would be jamming your own phone. Um, the RDF blocking minimalist wallets, they're okay. They're not great, but they're okay sellers. Let's see your custom art decor. Again, we're getting into the print on demand stuff. 3D printed figurines. If you actually do 3D printing, this would be actually an interesting idea to get into. Wall art, yeah, basically algorithm generated, basically AI wall art. And wall art is a decent seller as well. Circular economy baby products. Okay. Millennial Gen Z parents seeking sustainable, reusable baby gear. Modular strollers upgradable. Well, that might be an interesting one to look into. Biodegradable diapers with subscription refills. If you could find a decent supplier and it was actually at a decent price, maybe. But understand this about one thing that I don't like when it says biodegradable diapers. The one thing that you need to understand is no company that sells diapers actually makes money on diapers. They actually lose money on them. What they do make money on is the bottles, the pacifiers, rattles, all other baby items. That's where their money is at. They actually use the diapers to bring people in, and then they will start selling even more stuff, formulas and whatnot that way. So be very careful on the whole biodegradable diaper thing. VR fitness accessories, that doubt you'll actually find anything on that one, to be perfectly honest. So let's see here. Oh, here we go. This is used the GPT for ad copy. There you go. Midjourney for product visualization. Focus on micro niches. This is actually a good idea. I always say niche within a niche. You start big, like the pet niche. Then you find a sub niche within the pet niche. Let's just ask niche. Let's go. All you gotta do is just go niche. I am interested in the pet niche. Give me, let's go 5 sub niches within the pet niche that are hot for 2025. And what we're going to do, we'll do the same thing in ChatGPT. By the way, I'm not paying for this. I am using the free version of ChatGPT and DeepSeek. Research doesn't have to cost you money. It takes you time, though, so be well aware of that. Let's see here. So the 5 top sub niches for 2025: smart pet tech, pet and anxiety wellness products. That actually, let's see here, calming beds, weighted blankets. I don't think a dog or cat would like a weighted blanket. CBD treats, avoid that again because of the fact it's something ingestible. If you're selling CBD treats and you don't know who is making these treats, if your customer's dog or cat dies because of the treat, you're in a world of shit. Anti-anxiety wraps, pheromone diffusers, eco-friendly and sustainable pet products. Anything that is sustainable or eco-friendly is going to give you a boost. Let's see here. It's huge. Think biodegradable poop bags, organic pet shampoos, plant-based treats. Again, avoid the treats. Eco-friendly pet beds. Another good one. Luxury and personalized pet accessories. That's, typical. Engraved collars, pet portraits, pet beds, designer pet clothing, and Really research the pet clothing because what you think your target market is for the pet clothing, you might be wrong. Because I built a dog clothing store and I was really surprised at who my target market ended up being. Exotic and niche pet care. Now, this one here, you could get into a little bit of a rabbit hole, and you've got to be careful about that. If you're doing reptiles, birds, exotic pets, that's as far as you actually want to go. You're going to start a store for reptiles or birds or whatever exotic pet you want, but don't go with a specific breed. Like, you don't want to start a store that is nothing but crocodiles and alligators, or a specific bird, like an emu, an entire store with nothing but emu. That's really bringing yourself way too far down that rabbit hole. You're only going to have a few customers. Whereas if you do a bird store, you can cover every single bird that there is, and you're going to have a lot more customers. Same with reptiles, same with whatever exotic pet. Be careful on the exotic pets. Again, if you did an entire store, say tiger, boa, snakes, boa constrictors, and that's it, that's going to have a really low percentage of people to sell to. Whereas a reptile store, on the other hand, boom, you've got a lot of customers you can sell to. All right, let's see what DeepSeek says. Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. Why did you not do that? Oh, the server's busy. Please try again later. Okay, well, this is what happens when you don't pay for it, I guess. Let's just try this again and see if the server is not so busy. But as you can see, this works very well, both Gemini, ChatGPT, and DeepSeek. Now, Gemini used to have access to Google Trends, and now it's throwing a hissy fit that it doesn't. So, what you can literally do, while this is doing let's just go to, let's close that out. Let's go to Google Trends. And let us just grab one of these niches off of, um, let's see here. Let's just go reptiles, just for sheer interest out of this. And I'm based in Australia, so I'm just going to do Australia and just click explore. And let's see here. Always go 90 days. That's what I always start with. And this is going to give you an idea. Now, as you can see, what I aim for is anything above 50. And this is kind of hanging around 50. So it might be an interesting thing to get into. You come down here, reptiles for sale is the rising. So we go top, reptile animals, amphibians, snakes. And again, instead of reptiles, we go top. Reptiles Australia, that's typical reptile, reptiles for sale. Amphibians, what are reptiles? Now, the other thing that you can do is we go to shopping and we see what it does. Nope, not very many people are doing the whole shopping thing for some reason. Doesn't mean much, but you can still double check. Whereas, you do all categories and it's just going to tell you interest over time. So this is what can actually help you. Let's see about DeepSeek. Oh, well, I guess this video might just stop here on using DeepSeek because the server is busy. But as you can see, it's come up with some decent ideas. Some ideas I wouldn't go with. I wouldn't try because I don't think you're going to find a lot of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT here, niche, give me, let's see here, 5 keywords I can look up in Google Keyword Planner. And let's see here, 4, let's just go the eco-friendly, sustainable pet products. And this is going to help you explore your options a lot better. It's booming niche with strong customer interest. Here are 5 potential keywords. See here, sustainable pet products, eco-friendly dog toys, biodegradable pet waste bags. Let's just go ahead and pop in. Actually, we'll just use this as Google Trends. Just out of curiosity. More than likely, it will just be like poop bags or something like that. Waste bag, search for 90 days. As you can see, real spike there for some reason, and then poof, nothing. So what we're gonna do, let's see here, just go poop bags. Going a little higher. So what you do next, we do that. Again, low. So let's just go dog. And see, this is how you do it. You just slowly start building up and voila. Again, it in January it's kind of flatlined and now it's really picking up for some reason. These are just going to give you ideas on trends. So we go to Google Keyword Planner. I will use one of my old accounts that is suspended because I don't really care. Go to sign in. Oh, I guess I'll use this one. This is an older one that I don't use very often. And we're just going to go to Tools, go to Planning, Keyword Planner. And we go Discover New Keywords. And there we go. Now, we'll do the pet waste bags for right now and see what it comes up with. Again, I have it set in Australia. Let's see here. I always do the 3 months change. And I am always interested more in seeing what the higher numbers are. Let's see here. So there's 10 to 100 people. Not that great, but there is a high chance of people using and whatnot. And as you can see, the search isn't that great. So let's just come up to here and paste that back in there. But we are going to go with dog poop bags and see what it comes up with. And we're still, here we go, on the rise. Biodegradable poop bags. There you go, 10 to 90%, 900%. This is actually would be something that you could add to a store. Because look, 100 to 1,000 people are looking for this on an average monthly search. And the price isn't too bad. That one is, I wouldn't go for this one. Compostable poop bag simply because of how high of that this price of $2.29 is what you're going to have to beat to be able to have people see your ads on Google. But this is just an option. This is how you do your research. You use niche and you build upon it. And again, let's see just one last time on DeepSeek and see if the servers are no longer busy. And if it is busy, well, I'm just going to call it the video done. But this is, again, Niche Navigator is designed to help you do your research within niches. Use ChatGPT, use DeepSeek, use Gemini, use Google Trends, as well as Google Keyword Planner. All of these are free. Why pay? I don't see the point in spending a huge amount of money on research when you can do all of this. The only thing that you're giving up is your time. And with AI, as you can see, it makes it a lot easier, a lot simpler. Take the ideas that it's coming up with, put it into a Google document so that you can look back through it and you can get more information. And the server's probably still busy. So the best thing about niche as well is on any of the AI, you go niche. I am interested in women's fashion. Give me 10 top trends for 2024. Yep, 24. To see here, 2025, please. Also give me, let's go 5 sub niches within the women's fashion that will be trending for 2025 based off of 2024. Now, the one thing that you have to understand about fashion, both women's and men, it's circular. So basically, as I said, the Y2K thing that's really starting to come back up. I am not vintage again. Do not call me that. um, it's coming full circle again. So here's the top 10 trends. Techwear, this is always going to come up with techwear. Sustainable and ethical fashion, which is a good thing. Hyper feminine aesthetics, soft girl, revival, lace bows, pastel shades, ruffles, and vintage inspired romantic silhouettes, also known as cottage, can fall into this one here. Minimalist looks, sheer and transparent layers, retro futurism, Y2K, cyber aesthetics, statement accessories, power dressing, reinvented, gender fluid, and other. I'm not even trying to pronounce that word because my tongue will snap off and you will all laugh at me. So, 5 trends: tech infused fashion, smart and functional apparel, wearable tech meets fashion. Self-heating jackets, I mentioned that one, smart fabrics, and the UV protection clothing. Sustainable, for organic cotton, recycled materials, slow fashion, and plant-based dyes. Modest fashion, luxury loungewear, and elevated basics. And Western and cowgirl core, cowboy boots, fringe jackets, denim on denim, and ranch-inspired fashion are making waves. So that's, something that you can play with. Okay, we will no longer be using DeepSeek today, apparently. Servers are all busy. Um, but as you can see, it still came up with some decent ideas. You may have to kind of come at this at, a day or two. Do not rush this, folks. There is no rush to start a brand. Take your time, do it right the first time. So that will be it. And let's see here. I should be able just to press a button and stop recording. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask in the comments and or email me. I'll make sure the email is in the chat there as well. You'll have a good one. And no, it doesn't want to do that. I'm just going to stop sharing and stop recording.